I just want to state again, you need to start from part 1 of this series or you will be lost. I have made a playlist, so if you want to, you can go to the playlist by going, click on my name, and then that will take you to the page, and at the top click on playlist, and then anyway, that'll let you go search for the playlist story structure, and then you can play it all in one thing if you wanted to. But anyway, so we have this. And I might even make a printout of this, not a printout, but put this online, what I'm making here, this little graph. So if people want it, they can have it. So we have our goal and desire. We went through all this, okay. And now we can start plotting. And notice that because I went through all this, a lot of my plot elements are already there. In other words, a lot of my story elements are already there. I know now that somewhere he's going to have to face his fear of heights on a high building, and that's where he's going to fight Charlie. We know that Bob doesn't want to get caught, and so he actually sets up Jack to believe Charlie. So I need to figure out how that's going to happen. I know that some of my foreshadowing is that he has a sociological problem where he grew up on. That's some of my backstory, and so it's all organic. My plot is going to come from all of this organicness, and the plot's going to feel very organic and natural. So when we start plotting, we can go through the different things, the major things that we need to happen in order to plot our story. And this will be from beginning to end. And I'm going to do it the long way. Now you can think of it as going like this, beginning to end, but I'm going to make it go down. So hopefully this won't seem too weird. So this is going to be the beginning of our story. I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go down. My plot line is going to go, it's going to go down. Actually, I can just click here, scroll down a little bit, and I'll go like that. Anyway, so the first thing we need in our plot structure is how to begin the story. And it's going to be easy because we've done all the work. So we know where the beginning of our story is. And this, remember that if you want to graph out the story, it starts out like this, and as the conflict builds up, each conflict gets harder and harder as it skyrockets up to the end. And I can even make this, more like that if I wanted to. And there'll be subplots, but all the subplots are going to feed into the overall plot. One of the subplots I've already decided on is that he meets this alien girl. But before he meets the alien girl, let's say here, he meets this alien guy, and he needs to go through this guy in order to find the rapist. So he has no choice. He's forced to face his racism against aliens. This also leads to another under theme or an underlining moral that racism is not good. To hate people just because they're different is not good, and that racism is often caused by your society, how you were raised. So he was raised in a society that was racist, that didn't like aliens, and they had a logical moral reason for it. That is, they felt that humans are God's creation and aliens are God's creation, and they were created on different planets, and therefore we should just leave it the way God made it, and we shouldn't intermingle together and live on planets together. So I'm making all this up, but it sounds good, right? And I'm able to do this so easily because I went through all this process. So anyway, that's important that I have some subplots in there. That's one of them. And after he's come to grips with that a little bit, he's not so racist. He starts to see, hey, these aliens are kind of cool, and I think maybe I've grown up wrong. And so we need change. We need our character to change. So that subplot, one subplot, and the other subplot helps mold the character, and it fits into the overall story arc. The other one, he meets an alien girl, and he starts to like her, and so that helps him overcome his psychological problem with being hurt by women. So all this is going to come together, and it's all going to be organic, and it's going to help flesh out our character, and it's going to help move our character to the end goal and make him change. You want your character to change. That's important. That's part of what's going to happen. Now, not all characters change a lot, but he needs to change some, otherwise he's boring and static. So some of the change I've already went through. And other changes are he's going to realize that killing is not the way. He's going to realize that his abusive nature, that was caused by his drug addict, that was caused by his needs, he's going to overcome that and realize that hey, I shouldn't hurt people. This is wrong. I need to quit my drugs. I need to find another way to deal with my pain, and so I'm going to resolve that, and he will be a changed person. So he's going to change and become a better person in many ways. So that's good. Okay, so we need to start then. Something needs to happen for all this to kick into place, right? We need to kick the story off. Actually, before I continue, I wanted to say a little bit more about the main character and his needs and all that. He needs to have a value system. And I've already told you what his value system is. His belief, his value system, which was a organic result of his past, which goes into his sociological character. Remember, he grew up on Earth in a town that is basically racist against aliens. So he has a value system. His value system is that his beliefs, basically. His beliefs are just that. Humans and aliens shouldn't mix, but he's kind of forced to do that because he was forced on this planet because like his mom died or something. I'll come up with a reason why, but anyway, he's forced to live on this planet. He has no choice, and while there, his sister gets raped. Now he has to stay there because he needs to find the rapist. He doesn't want to be on this planet. He wants to leave, but now he's stuck there, and this is good to make him have to face, he has this belief system that he shouldn't be there, but he has to be there because his desire to see justice done and find inner peace makes him stay there. So this is good. This adds tension. Like, oh, I don't want to be here, but he needs to be there. So I like that too. Anyway, so it's important that he has a belief system, and that belief system is challenged, and that belief system is changed. It doesn't have to change much, or maybe he just needs to realize that his belief system is right. But it's better usually if your character changes his belief system because of the organicness of the story. The story should change his belief system. So I know that his belief system I already know that's going to change. His belief system is that aliens and humans shouldn't live together. That belief system is going to change because of these two major things that happen in the story arc. The two subplots. Being forced to work with an alien to find Charlie, and then he kind of realizes that, hey, aliens are kind of cool, and he starts to doubt his belief system, meets this girl, starts falling for her, that's an alien, and that makes him realize that his belief system is wrong, and he changes his belief system by the end of the story. That can also be part of his self-revelation, or the audience's self-revelation. Okay, another one of his beliefs is that killing or getting revenge is justice, and that's going to help his peace, but he realizes that's wrong. That's part of his self-revelation. I can give him other beliefs and values as well that change, but those are two I know that he has are going to change. Okay, let's go ahead and start with plotting now. And I don't think I made this clear, but also the self-revelation is caused by the moral choice. The moral choice he has to make is, do I kill Bob or not? Here he is, Bob's in his grip, he can kill him, but he realizes it's a lot harder than he thought when he has to actually look Bob in the face. And also, your opponent shouldn't be the opposite of your main character. He shouldn't be like totally evil. You shouldn't have good and evil. I mean, he could, but that's a hero story. It's a different kind of story. Your opponent should be very much like your main character, but they have different views. They look at things slightly differently. Bob looks at things a little bit differently, and thus why he was able to rape his sister. Anyway, so that does make him bad, but you want to try to make him as gray as possible. The more gray, the harder it is for Jack to make his decision. And Jack's decision to kill Bob is going to be very difficult by the time it happens, and he's going to decide not to do it. Okay, so you want that moral dilemma where he makes a moral decision, whether and if he kills Jack, or if he kills Bob, it becomes a different story, and my theme changes. But in this case, he doesn't. Anyway, so this is some of the notes here that we can go through. And I keep spending so much time talking about other things before I get to this plotting. I know I keep saying we're going to get to plotting, we're going to get to plotting. I'm sorry. We're going to do it in the next video. All this information is very important though, so I really hope that even though I'm repeating myself a lot, you're going to learn by that repetition and that all this is starting to make sense.